Welcome to the Confessions of a Group X Instructor podcast. For group exercise junkies and enthusiastic classgoers, we'll explore and uncover authentic, thought-provoking, and heartwarming industry education and inspiration from entertaining, badass fitness pros. And now your host, creator of Warrior Rhythm, Warrior Strength, Warrior Combat, Warrior Revolution, and Warrior Kids Group fitness brands, Ellen DeWord. Here we grow.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for making the time, whether you're stopping what you're doing or whether you're listening while you do other things. Thank you for making this show a priority. Thank you for supporting it. Today, we're going to talk about how to intro your class like a boss. And believe it or not, this small thing that takes 30 seconds to perhaps a minute of your class time, do you know how much it has to do with the way you come across, the first and vitally important impression that you're making upon your students, particularly your new students, and how this little skill is actually huge in terms of leveling you up and going from good to great in the instructor arena, is introducing your class / yourself like a boss. So here are my tips for you today. We're just going to dive right into them. Gain class control with a command presence. So what you don't want to do is introduce yourself, your class, while there's chatter going on in the room, while people are ignoring you and doing other things. You want to create a command presence. And some of you just have that sprinkling fairy dust around you when you walk in a room. You're the vortex, you're the center of energy when you walk in the room. And some of you are still maybe having to work for that, or sometimes classes can be unruly. I'm going to talk about that in another episode, is really how to get class control when you've lost it or when you're trying to create it or when you're trying to shift an energy in a room. But today we're just going to dive right into class intros. So some little tiny tricks and tips you can do if you're struggling with class control. Class control meaning when you take the stage or the front of the room and you're ready to go and you're ready to introduce, it's all eyes on you. All mouths are shut. Everybody is like, what? Let's hear it. Show's about to start. And if you don't have that, you can do some little tricks like playing music as people are arriving, energy setting, mood setting music that you turn off. And if you can, at the same exact time, make a lighting change. Maybe you're popping the lights up a little higher. Maybe you're putting on some party lights, or maybe you're turning the lights down low, depending on the format and the mood you want for the class itself. But if you can make a lighting change in conjunction with a turning off of the music change, that can really help grab people's attention. So you have class control, you have a command presence. That is point number one for a stellar intro. Point number two is smile. This is our universal language of I love you. Put a smile on your face. It is disarming to them. If it is disarming to you, if you have instructor nerves ever, whether I still get instructor nerves if I'm in a new environment, or I'm doing something slightly outside of my comfort zone for a certain reason. Smiling is one of the best ways I can disarm myself. So putting that smile on your face, I used to think about it when I was brand new. I would use this as a tactic to help myself calm down and feel confident, but I would smile. Even though I didn't really feel like smiling because I was maybe nervous or whatever, I would smile. And when people see a smile, do you know what they do? They smile back. It's like an autonomic response. It's a normal social response. And when you see people, a room full of people smiling at you, it feels pretty damn good. And it is pretty confidence boosting. Power posing, we've talked about that in other episodes, but having a strong posture and smiling, which the strong posture is going to lead into point number three, avoid body leaks. You'd be surprised how many people fidget in their body, move around, they touch their face, they play with their hair, they fidget around with their feet, they do a little tap-de-tap-de-doop-de-doo with their feet. Just hold your ground. Proud chest. shoulders back, and arms at your side, or one hand on your hip or whatever, but like you're not moving around a lot. Just stand and look comfortable in your own skin. Fidgeting, body leaks, fidgeting, that we call them body leaks, suggests that you're not confident up there. So part of a great introduction is these nonverbal signals and the way people are perceiving you. So gain class control, smile your face off, power posing, no body leaks, and then you should have a rehearsed class description, one you have literally rehearsed. You should have your class descriptions for the formats you teach or format you teach. You should have them boom on the tip of your tongue, ready to go. Like an elevator pitch, something that you've rehearsed so many times. So many times you know it, you know how you're going to say it. And that way you can even like ad lib it, deviate from it, beef it up, juice it up from class to class. You can actually look really natural and sound unrehearsed, ironically, if you're super rehearsed. You know what I mean? Like if you really, 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 really know it because you've rehearsed so many times, that's when you can deliver it in a really like casual, authentic way. I don't mean casual in the sense of like you're being casual up there, but I mean casual meaning authentic sounding, not rote, not like rote memorization. You're not a robot up there. And then this ties in directly with your elevator pitch, but short and concise. You're not using extra words. You're getting to the point. Nobody needs some long speech. They just want to start. They just want to work out. They just want to go. Use some pregnant pauses in your elevator pitch. I mean your your class introduction. Use some pregnant pauses that commands attention, that captivates, it's exciting, it tickles the ear. Something I'm not doing right now because I'm talking as fast as I can because I have dinner plans tonight and I gotta go. But pregnant pauses are a big deal. I'll give you an example in just a second. And then lowering the pitch of your voice, something I talked about in last week's episode in terms of being an expert cuer. Definitely you want to introduce yourself from your low pitch. So when I do my introductions, I always like bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Hey, thank you for coming. My name is Ellen. Welcome. Like that is my lowest register. I can't get it any lower than that. And that is actually more pleasing, more commanding, all those things. Okay. Manage expectations in your intro little spiel too. Meaning, are they barefoot? Do they need to take their shoes off? Do they need equipment? Do they need a yoga mat? What do they need what do they need to know? What are the need to know things? Managing people's expectations takes their anxiety away. If people have nerves because they haven't tried your class before, trepidation, some anxiety, maybe even they have social anxiety. People have anxiety all the time these days. I know for one, I do. So, one of the things that can really help people set their anxiety aside is if they know what to expect. So do that. And in the same breath, calm their fears. Be like, I got you. You can do impact, no impact. You can move fast, you can move slow. We want this to work for your body. If it feels fast and furious for you or crazy or you don't know what's going on, just know you can always take things at your own pace. You can hang out in child's pose. You can hang out in down dog. You can sit up nice and strong in a mountain pose. Like this is for you. We want you to feel really good today. So it's just stuff like that to calm their fears. And including logistics, like I said, footwear, equipment, all that stuff. Okay, so holy moly, those were all my points. Gain class control with the command presence, smile, avoid body leaks, rehearse, but have it roll off in a natural way, your class description. Introduce yourself, by the way, like make sure you're saying your name, like, hi, I'm Ellen. Thank you so much for coming today. And I even do that if I know everybody in the room and I know everybody knows my name, even if I have friends in the room, because it suggests when I say, hey, I'm Ellen, thank you so much for being here today. It suggests like I'm the boss right now. Like, I know you know that my name is Ellen because you take my classes all the time, but I'm at work right now. Like, I know you're going to text me later or we're going to have coffee, but it's professional. It's professional. It's part of a good introduction. So even if you know everybody, we want to toe the line of being like approachable, warm, and friendly, but still maintaining this fine line of separation where also I'm in charge. I got you. Trust me. I'm at work right now. So that's important too. So short and concise, pregnant pauses, lower your pitch, manage expectations, which includes like calming their fears and including like logistics. So by way of an example, and this is unrehearsed for you for this podcast, but I'm rehearsed because I'm ready, because I teach all the time and I'm going to practice what I preach here for you. So I would say, for example, hey, everybody, thank you so much for coming today. My name is Ellen. Welcome. Note the pregnant pause. How many of you have done Warrior Rhythm? How many are brand new? Sometimes asking a question is a great way of getting attention and helping to connect to your students. How many of you have done Warrior Rhythm today? Or done Warrior Rhythm before? A couple people will say, no, it's the first time. Awesome. Let me tell you what to expect. Ideally, this class is done barefoot on a yoga mat, and you've got a set of dumbbells nearby, maybe even a yoga block. Warrior Rhythm is a fusion. Notice the pregnant pauses I'm giving you. It weaves together a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of weightlifting, a teeny kiss of HIIT training, but is primarily what we like to call a rebel yoga flow. If anything we do today feels fast or chaotic in your body, give yourself permission to go at your own pace. Maybe to sit back in child's pose and be gracious with yourself today. Let's do it. So that's an example of like a typical class intro from me. Notice how I intonated my voice, but I was talking from my low register for the most part. Notice I gave some pregnant pauses, like a little bit of mindfulness, some weightlifting, HIIT training, but is primarily what we like to call da-da-da-da-da-da. Did you notice those long pauses? That's so powerful in grabbing attention. Did you notice that I was smiling? And I'm not saying that in case you're watching the replay on YouTube. I'm saying you can hear someone's smile in their voice. So if you smile your way through the whole intro, it's like, it's so comforting to them, but also like they hear it. They hear the happy. The happy comes through audibly, not just visibly. So those are my top tips on introducing your class like a boss. Don't forget to be a consummate professional and throw in any club announcements that your group fitness manager has asked you to talk about. And make sure you rehearsed your little outro too. Maybe you want to throw in a little community building piece of like, what'd you guys do this weekend? Maybe you want to do some like community building engagement, but make sure you plan those in advance and that you start your class and end your class on time. All right, thanks for listening, and I will see you for the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining in on the Confessions of a Group X Instructor podcast. If you're interested in becoming a warrior instructor, go to warriorinstructors.com. But if you want more and found this episode amazing, please give us a rating. And with a simple click to subscribe, we'll invite you back to our next episode. So remember, be brave, be bold, be blessed. And above all, listen, learn, love.